Hey, good morning. I wanted to shoot this out there real quick for my fans that are, illiterate or hate reading. The Depa Billaba release with the slice of bundles. We did the math last night. It's up there on Substack. So if you are a reader and you're like, oh, I hate this Egnards guy and I don't want him to get any ad revenue, well, it's too late because you watched the preload. But if for some reason you just want to check out the graphs for that, that's over on Substack. I do want to break it down here for everybody else, and we'll do that in just a moment. So the Depa Billaba release, she came out yesterday. Everybody's loving it. Everybody's done all of their stuff on unlocking her character, and it's wonderful. It's not like it's hard. It's a marquee. But what I didn't even realize until a little bit later last night that CG Stealth released a new Slice bundle, um, which is a new character Slice bundle. Now, a few things are weird about this. Number one, Slice Bundle almost always appears on a Friday. I think that there was one Thursday that they did it. It's very unusual for it to appear on a Tuesday. Number two, this is the first time we're seeing new character shards released in this way. There is no Ascension pack. There is the $30 30 shards pack. The closest that we've ever come is having conquest characters in this bottom tier. I mean, we'll go over it in a minute, but it seems that the pricing is pretty similar if you're here to get the brand new character. $9.99. We go over here, $60, so it's about $1 a shard. But what I did find interesting is Temple Guard is looped in with Scorch, which makes sense. They're both newer characters that are not in shipments yet, but also with Disguised Clone Trooper, whose shards you can buy in game already, which greatly reduces the instance in which a player is going to purchase his shards through the means like we just showed you. But enough of me yapping. Let's kind of look at the math because this is one of the most interesting slice of bundles that I have seen so far. So we're going to pop on over here. Slice of bundle, Depa, and Temple. We look at this. Let's get this just a little bit bigger. How does that look? Much better. So at first glance, we look at well, actually, before we do that, we're going to talk about raw data once again. Pretty much everything in this pack is going to be based on its store value. The only thing that's not going to be based on store value is Depa, and that we are going to actually price lower than a regular Marquee, just because you can purchase her shards and do it a little bit cheaper through crystals if you buy the 12 pack, the 5 pack, and the 1 pack, which is kind of like it's not free-to-play friendly, but the free-to-play way to do it if you've saved crystals. So we're going to pop back on over to this pack. Quantity 11 for her. It's 13 for Temple Guard, Disguised Clone Trooper, and Scorch. And again, this is why I find this interesting, because Disguised Clone Trooper, a word I can't say, should really be down here with Apo and CX2 at a quantity of 15. But it doesn't actually really make that much of a difference, right? At first glance, we're actually seeing a negative value here for Depa, about negative 7.24%, which is kind of crazy if you consider it, right? The converted value is just slightly under $10. And then we look at Temple Guard and Scorch. The value is slightly increased because their quantity is a little higher and their store value is a little higher. I am assuming that CG is valuing this pack, the Depa, at the same store value as their anchor. I don't do it because of the reasons that we spoke about before. And then the Apple CX2 is, I mean, I've never seen a negative value this low for a character who is currently in the game. And that, is like kind of insane to me, that would be the oversight that they make. I almost feel like this should be like 20 shards at a minimum. Does that even help? That doesn't even help there. Apple and CX2 should be like 25 shards. We go over to tier 2. It's an extra 15 bucks. Shock Prod, Zetas, and Omicrons. I've said this before. Don't be fooled by this value increase on Omicrons. I really firmly believe that this 481 price point is literally just because that's the best way we can anchor it right now. I would most likely value these at maybe like 350 myself, which brings it down considerably, but I do want everything I do to be based on the actual game math. I think that predominantly most players who are thinking about buying this pack are probably going to purchase the Zetas. Maybe some endgame players are purchasing the Omicrons, but honestly, with the episode passes that have been released, I feel like that is not so much a gate that it used to be. But the value is fairly nice, whatever you're getting here in this second level, keeping in mind that this value increase is specifically based on this $15 valuation, not on the total cost, right? I think G13, yeah, not on the total cost. And then the final pack, so the $35 pack, this is where we see a shift with Depa. 20% increase, so a little bit better than being up here. Temple Guard and Scorch. I'm really going to exclude Sky's Clone Trooper here. We'll talk about why once we finish. A 60% increase, and then once again a negative on Oppo and CX2. Now, the interesting thing that I kind of think about is that when we talk about valuation on shards for a new Marquee, the accepted value is about 90 cents to $1. And if we look at the pack overall, and you are buying the Depa shards, so 50 here, 11 is such a weird freaking number too. Why 11? If we're here buying the 50 and the 11, we're getting 61 shards total for $60. So that puts us right under the $1 per shard valuation. And then essentially anything that you are getting here in the middle is free. So I don't necessarily think it's a terrible bundle if you're buying the entire thing. I do think if you're just buying the top, it doesn't really make sense. If you're buying the middle, obviously, based on these valuations, it's not the worst thing in the world. If you are going to purchase these shards, one thing that I would say is really avoid, again, Disguised Clone Trooper. You're not getting any real value for him, and he's in the wrong thing. He should really be down here with these guys with a higher quantity. So you're getting that lower quantity and an inflated valuation from what it should be. If you're getting Oppo CX2 or Disguised Clone Trooper, it's not worth it. I personally think that Scorch is going to be in shipments next week, which kind of makes it not worth it for Scorch as well. If for some reason you hit the 330 on Depa, and you just happen to only need Temple Guard for Jedi Master Mace Windu, that maybe is the only reason why you would purchase something other than her shards here. Don't get fooled by saying, oh, I just need CX2, I'm so close, and all my other clones are at 7 stars. Big mistake. Buy the crystals instead, and shipment farm it, right? So I hope everybody finds this helpful. I hope you found it useful. If you would prefer to see this in text form, once again, all of this stuff does go up on Substack. And with that said, peace out and have a great day.